Yeah, that's happened before to us, at Louisville in particular. And we really stepped up in that moment. I thought tonight we did a good job. I thought we ran out a little bit of gas into the first half there without Cooper. And, like, I'm always going to play him. I'm not, if he's out for that period of time, we were buying as much time as possible, and we have good confidence with the guys that we're in. But, we have to build that trust where he can't pick up a charge. We got to make sure he only has 2 fouls going into half. But I thought our guys did a good job. Mason stepping in, Isaiah. And then I thought Sion, Khan, and Tyrese the whole night were just studs. I thought they just had a great look about them the whole way.
Coach, you talked.
John, you mentioned with Malik, you're getting him back.
Right.
There's a big picture thing, a piece of that, of what it means going forward. But even for this game, have him respond the way he did. Did you have a good feel for how he might handle his first action back in this environment and what he could do for you tonight?
Well, it's ironic. I mean, it's not a coincidence. I mean, it is a coincidence. I mean, the first game he came back was against them also, and he responded really well that time. It's a different injury, obviously, but we've been very cautious with him. So he's just been really working pretty hard. He hasn't practiced. The hardest thing with his injury is to get contact, and so he just got contact the last couple of days. But Malik's a gamer. He has this special, I don't know, like to shoot those threes in that moment after being off. The one thing with being off this amount of time, he has shot a ton. Like, he's shooting more than he ever has. And now he's kicking Justin Robinson's ass in shooting games. Like before, J-Rob was probably getting him a little bit. And so I'm proud of the work he's done with J-Rob to have the confidence to shoot those shots.
Coach, in your presser earlier this week, you talked about the offense needing bits of randomness to succeed. You have a lot of randomness with one of your coaches leaving for Miami. You get Cooper in foul trouble. You have a lot of different things going on in this game in a already tough environment. How important was this game to be able to handle all that but still come out with the win?
Yeah, I mean, it's not smooth sailing, going forward. And I thought tonight was a good example. When you mentioned all those things, that's the obstacles the way for us. We've embraced that. We've talked about it very early on, and just the spirit, the competitiveness. I thought we had great looks in the second half of just guys talking to one another. And the first time out, I called in the second half. They just they weren't fighting anything I was talking about. I thought it was really about getting back to doing. We always talk about just doing your job in those moments, and having that trust. And our guys came back, and we got stops right away. Our offense wasn't there, and then we came back, and we were able to put both together.
You said you're always going to play Cooper. You start him in the second half with 3 fouls. What did you tell him about managing that, and how much trust do you have in a freshman to handle that situation?
I think the tough part is, especially after the charge, you worry about him playing really hesitant and not being himself even with 3 fouls. And so I just told him to be aggressive, just not to be, for lack of a better term, I said handsy. You can't play with your hands, you have to play with your body. And for him to get 4 blocks, while having the 3 fouls and doing a great job showing his hands was big time. And he was ready to play. He just was, I think he wanted it almost too much. And so great learning experience for him. My thing is, once he picks up the first, we got to make sure he doesn't pick up the second. Then once you have the second, we can't pick up the third. I think that's the biggest thing.
John, what did you see from Caleb Foster to put him in there in a pretty big spot in the second half after a DNP last game and then their first half minutes?
Well, Caleb, it was his response to that. I would say the majority of the time, if not all the time, guys can pout, quit, make an excuse, be pissed at me. Well, I'm sure he's pissed at me. That's fine. That's good. I'm all for that. But his attitude was like he just had such a competitiveness about him the last couple of days. And so I thought as we got into the game, I thought we were missing what he had in tonight's game, just with the ball handling, the speed on their end. And to be ready is a credit to him and the coaches, and just he's got amazing character to do that.